watching Dee with My Favorite Groomer on YouTube. So in light of Coconut's video, we're putting Abby's video up today. But I wanted to kind of throw this out to y'all who think you guys can judge when a dog should be put down. I don't think I can't say that each of you have had a senior pet and maybe have not had the luxury of caring for a senior pet until the pet is blind, deaf, cannot find the doggy door anymore, cannot poop on its own, but is still truly happy. And only the person who lives with that dog, and I call that person the adversary, someone who can advocate for that pet, someone who lives with the pet, so someone who can make choices on behalf of the pet. Because I learned from a veterinarian, all this isn't my opinion, I've learned these things all through the years of working with animals, but I've learned through a veterinarian. He was like, Dee Dee, we have the privilege as a human in the animal world to decide when to put down an animal. We don't have that privilege when it comes to human put downs, right? If my dad happens to be on a breather and he might be still kept alive on behalf of the state. You guys are out there judging someone's pet and telling them when to put it. I challenge you to judge your own life, your own people in your life, your own dogs, your own animals, and really say that you could look at your husband when he's on a breathing tube, still talking to you. Someone that's still talking to you and say, well, honey, you look like you're ready to go. Let's pull the plug. So that's why we don't have, because there's so many shitty humans, that's why we don't have the laws in place for you to do that. Just, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You have to have people you have to have a line, like a line of people that are judging what you're doing and saying, yo, you're too emotional. You can't make that call. You have to follow the laws to put down your husband, to put down your child, to put down your son. If you had a child on a breathing tube that might make it, and someone says, you ought to put that child down, I challenge you to just be quiet, because you don't live with that dog, you don't know that dog, and the little piece of grooming for 45 minutes allows you to judge that whole dog's life and care from a perspective you have no idea how to judge, because you're not getting any facts. I didn't go to her house. I want to now. I want to show you all that you guys should just shut up. But if you were to judge someone, you should be put down. You should be put down. Your ass should be put down. You and your thoughts, be quiet, close your mouth, because you cannot judge a dog based off a grooming, okay? The dog may have hated grooming its entire life, and it's made it to 20-something years old, and from one 45-minute grooming, which the dog hates to be groomed, and now she's made it this far, fighting to stay with its human, and people dipping their head into the process saying, oh, put her down, oh, put her down. It's so easy to speak, and it's so fast, like these celebrities like the president. It's so easy to speak, but then try to take the words away. Sorry, I'm so sorry, I take it back. No. You should be held accountable for what comes out of your mouth. You should be held accountable for what you write. You should be held accountable for how you treat people. You can't just go blah, 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 and then go, oh, I want to take it all back. It doesn't work like that. Human mentalities don't work like that. We will remember that you said that. We will remember that's how you behaved. We remember that's how you carried yourself. So Abby's groom was super emotional for me, and I would be the last person to say she is ready to be put down. Have there been cases that I've said, hey, I really need you to decide if yeah, there was a lady that came in for grooming with a full-on blown open wound cancer on the body of the dog. And when we went to groom the dog, the whole wound was open and smelling, and you could smell cancer. It was dripping. It was an open wound. And the dog couldn't stand up. We just let the dog lay down. We did a full cut, and I advised her, hey, I really want you to just, I challenge you to think. I don't know your dog. I don't know what happens at home. I don't know how she acts, but I challenge you to think, when you get home, if she seems like she is in a good place, if she's still happy, if she's still, I don't make the judge. I just challenge them to look at it, because if the dog, and we know Coconut's happy at home. Coconut is blind and everything, but when you are not grooming the dog, she's walking around and she's fine. And a couple times they went to put her down, because she looked like she was deteriorating, and boom, the next day she's jumping up and down. They're like, well, we can't put her down now. Look at her, she's fine, you know. So when someone goes blind, when someone goes deaf, and a dog, a human, those are not two ailments that you say, I'm going to put you down. Unfortunately, that's not what I believe. If that's really what you believe, I challenge you to rethink your humanity. Abby's mom, you guys would be the first people, some of you would be the first people to say, Abby's mom needs to be put down, because I told you earlier, she's on a hose now. You know, she needs oxygen to help her. So she deserves to be put down? No, you guys need to be kind and be human. Something happened in y'all's own life that has created so much anger and tension within yourself that you need to go actually dig deep and fix it, so that you stop spreading such negative things around the world, creating people that, you know, that's what happens, is that you get so angry with what's happened in your own world and you come and try to put it on someone else because you want to team up the negativity. It doesn't work. People like me are going to tell you what we feel like. We're going to tell you the truth, and we hope that you go fix it. Go fix yourselves, because something is wrong with that mentality. All right, so I care about Abby a lot. I care about her mom a lot. And if someone were to say, Dee Dee, you need to put Abby down, and after you watch this video, Dee Dee, you need to put Abby down, Dee Dee, you need to put her mom down, I would tell you, get off my channel. Go to another channel. Go to the one where the guy's shooting his girlfriend on the bed straight up in the face, and tell me, go yell at him. That's the kind of stuff I think you want to see. He shot her right in the face, and I honestly don't think that it was a fake video. I think that was real. Go look it up. The boyfriend shoots his girlfriend on the bed in the face. If that's the kind of stuff you need to see because they need to be put down, then you're on the wrong channel here, because we're not about death here, okay? We're about humanity, helping others, sharing, doing good causes. If you are so negative that that's what you guys are out here just kind of battering and stuff, go somewhere else. We're here to keep that. I'm one of the only groomers I know that will groom some of these animals in this care and have the patience to groom them. And how dare you try to take that away from the animal? Thanks for watching, and thanks for letting me yell at you guys, because those making those negative comments, I don't know about you. Thanks. Sure, I went and washed my hands. I'm not done. I got to tell you something else. So Alice was a client of mine. She had Sophie, who was a Pekingese, and I remember sitting in my salon the day she came in and told me she had cancer. Alice is not with us anymore. She passed away. Totally good friend of mine. First sergeant in the military. I knew her from the Air Force Reserves. And I got to say, I visited her and tried to help her family sell her house, because she was now in the hospital. I tried to visit her. I visited her. Me and her, one of her best friends. Alice is about 60-some years old, and I was about 30-something. So, and we went camping. We were friends. I was her full-time groomer through 2 Pekingeses that passed away, and this was her 3rd Pekingese. And I adored her, and I adored her dog, and I adored her so much. And I tried to help them sell their house at no fees. Who does that? No real estate fees. I was like, I don't care about the money. I said, let me help you sell your house. Their family wouldn't do it. Her kids wouldn't do it. And that's a whole nother story. Make sure you have your shit put together in your will and everything how you want, because Alice didn't. Alice's estate went to whatever. Alice's dog went to whatever. It wasn't clear where things were supposed to go, so things didn't work out. Alice's dog, Sophie, ended up being like 15 pounds down to like 7, until I was like, something's got to stop here. I don't know what's going on here, but you guys are just killing her off, you know. Oh, it just angers me how people think. Alice is in the hospital. She's so drugged up she can't move, and family was still not really wanting visitors. And I was like, Alice is the first sergeant in the military. Only the military is going to understand that. That person takes care of all the troops under her. And I was like, you're going to not let people go see her? And she's dying? No. So we forced our way in there, in the sense of like, I was like, I'm not calling for a permission. I'm going to show up at the hospital. Me and her best friend drove down 3 hours to see her. We went together. We sat in there. The family was like making us feel like we couldn't even like talk. That's not what military members want usually. I'll tell you what, we've been hanging out with each other for so long, and it isn't like you sit there in silence. We'd be sitting there like chopping it up. So as soon as the family member left, he was like, I'm going to go take a break. I was like, go take a break, please, so we can kind of enjoy ourselves before Alice has her last goodbye. And Alice is laying there, drugged up because of cancer. Cancer definitely taken her life. And at the very end of her, this is it, you know, she couldn't move. I think she was so drugged up she couldn't come out of it. She couldn't come out of it because it was so, this is my impression. I don't know. I have never been that drugged up, but my impression is so drugged up, the drugs so weighing her body that she couldn't just like, hey, Dee Dee, she couldn't do that. She couldn't muster up enough strength to get out a hello. And that's why I'm telling you, like, Alice was there. And I believe it that she, I know, because this is what happened, man. Because you know, Dee Dee, I'm not sitting there letting people bring us down. You may not want Alice to have any visitors or friends come say goodbye to her, but these are her last few days, and we're going to freaking party. And as much as she has had cancer and cigarettes and all that, I was like, get her a cigarette. I was like, let her smell the cigarette. So she did, right? Alice was a full-time smoker, and unfortunately, she did not want to quit, not at the very end, not nothing. She's walking around with her little IV thing and with cigarette. I mean, she was smoking. That's it. You can't change some people. You just got to just let them be who they are. Me and her best friend are sitting there enjoying her, and that family member left, and I grabbed Alice, and I was like, girl, I grabbed her arms, and I was like, she's laying there limp. And I said, Alice, I know that if you were here, we would be dancing. And I was like, don't. And you know what? She started laughing. She started laughing and moving her hands with me. And the only people that saw that was me, her best friend, and Alice. And I was like, I know you want a cigarette. She goes, uh-huh. Okay. In all that death, in all of that, and all she kept doing, she was crying, and she was like, I don't want to go. She kept whispering, I'm not ready. She didn't want to go. So if I have a dog in my care that all that dog needs is a groom to keep on kicking and feel good and smell good, you're dang right, it's going to happen. I'm going to groom that dog the best I can with the parent assisting so that there's less harm done, okay, because it's already stressful. Things you can't see, the heart beating, it's already stressful. But at least in less than 45 minutes, the bath, the shaving out mats, and that's okay because I don't want to see her very often. She comes in, if she can make it, they come in, you know what I'm saying? And I've been grooming Coconut like years already. She has made it through everything. And for someone to say, you need to put her down like 4 years ago, wow, look at the life she's had. She's been able to stick around. And when I lost Duke, I could tell you Duke wanted to be with me until the end. And if his heart didn't outgrow his little tiny body, he would be here with me. I'm just trying to tell you, don't judge someone else's life and don't say anything. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know how great it is at home when they're not getting a groom, when I'm not showing you what I do and having the audacity to show you, and then you try to bucker it down. No. This is what it is. This is what I do. I groom senior, disabled, aggressive dogs. I've been turned away many other places and have nowhere else to go. So I'm not going to tell them to go put them down, and neither are you. You are just going to watch the groom, or you're going to go to a different channel. That's as easy as it gets. It's easy. But Alice, she fought until the end. She didn't want to go. She may have done the cigarette thing, but that's just, it is what it is. But she didn't want to go. That's the last thing she was saying. Duke, he did not want to go. He did not want to go. You know, as an owner watching your baby try to stay with you, the human that it loves, as long as possible. Can you imagine that feeling where you know he is sticking around just for you? You might not know that feeling if you think that everyone should put their dogs down when they just get blind or when they just get where they can't poop outside anymore. You need to go visit something and fix something in yourself. All right, I'm done.
Dee Dee, hi. Hi, baby. Are we all cleaned up? You ready to go? We're almost done. So precious.